In a realm stitched between dimensions, where clouds spiral like ribbons and time ripples instead of ticking, there lived a rather unusual creature named Tung Tung Sahur, with scales that shimmered like melted moonlight and eyes that blinked in parallel universes. He was not just a creature, he was a legend. And yet, legends too must answer when destiny whispers. This morning, the whisper came with a scream, a fracture in the sky, bleeding violet lightning. Tung Tung paused mid-fly spin over the emerald ravine. Not today, he muttered. But today had other plans. High above the fractured firmament, since someone was watching, or rather, some bird. Spyaniro Golubiro, the world's least secret spy pigeon, adjusted his monocle. "We've got a rupture. This isn't a drill," he cooed into his featherphone. Across town in the Velvet District, Ballerino Cappuccino executed a triple pirouette off the roof of Cafe Dusk and landed perfectly in a pool of neon light. "Something's wrong," she whispered, tightening her lace gloves. "Time smells like burnt toast." Soon, a beacon shot up from the quartz tower. That meant only one thing: a meeting at the spiral table. One by one, they arrived. Tung Tung Sahur with lightning crackling down his tail, Spyaniro with secret blueprints hidden under his wing, Ballerina with her toe shoes laced with anti-gravity ribbons. Others followed: Maestro Jazz Fluff on his wind-powered skateboard, Lady Circuitia with a heart made of chrome and poetry, and even Sir Snorkelton, the aquatic philosopher fish in his walking tank. "What are we dealing with?" Tung Tung's voice rang like a gong of destiny. Spyaniro flapped forward, dropping the blueprint. It revealed a crack across the fabric of the realm, spreading from the clockwork crater all the way to the phantom caves. Ballerina Cappuccino tapped the map. "This isn't just a tear," she said. "It's a countdown." They all knew what that meant. The last time reality frayed this badly, the sky bled dreams, and the forests sang in reverse. This time, it could be worse. And so, with steely resolve and wildly mismatched gear, the Fellowship of the Fracture was born. Their quest: to find the crystal of midnight light, an ancient gem said to restore the stitches of the world. But the crystal had been lost for centuries, and someone else had just found it. The road beyond the spiral table was old. It hadn't been walked in 100 years, not since the last great shift. But now, 6 pairs of feet, claws, wheels, and talons stirred the dust from long-forgotten stones. Somewhere beyond the dimming hills, the world was falling apart, and only they could see the signals. Tung Tung Sahur led the way, his eyes glowing dimmer now, weighed down by ancient memory. "I've seen a fracture like this once before," he said, "before the sky learned to bend." Spyaniro Golubiro fluttered beside him, squinting at a transmission screen strapped to his wing. Still no signal from the phantom caves, but something's pulsing under the sands, faint, rhythmic, like a beacon or a heartbeat. Behind them, Ballerina Cappuccino spun a pirouette over a crumbling bridge. "Do you ever feel it?" she asked no one. "Like the world's holding its breath?" Lady Circuitia answered without looking up. "Yes, that's how the end begins." They reached the edge of the ashlands by nightfall. The air was thick with soot and memory. Strange lights flickered where nothing should live. The ruins of a once-living forest now stood as blackened skeletons. In the center of it all was the beacon. It rose from the earth like a silver thorn, pulsing softly. A symbol spun above it in fire, not a word, but a warning. Tung Tung stepped forward, the ash curling around his tail. "The crystal of midnight light is awake," he whispered. Then the sky screamed. From the horizon, a tear in reality burst open, wide and hungry. Figures stepped out, cloaked in shadows, eyes burning like inverted suns. "They're already here," said Sir Snorkelton, his tank bubbling nervously. The group formed a circle. The Fellowship of the Fracture, ready or not, would make their stand. And somewhere deep beneath the ash, something ancient stirred. Ash fell like snow as the fracture widened. The sky above bled colors no world should know, crimson spirals, blue static, and a humming that vibrated their bones. The Fellowship stood before the beacon, the symbol above it pulsing faster now, warning them, guiding them. "We go through," said Tung Tung Sahur. "There's no turning back," added Lady Circitia, her circuits glowing hot with anticipation. Spyaniro Golubiro adjusted his goggles and scanned the rupture. Dimensional depth unstable. Gravity, liquid. Reality? Optional. Sir Snorkelton's tank wheezed as he loaded the last round of plasma pearls. "If we perish," he said solemnly, "may we do so with style." Without another word, they stepped into the breach. The world twisted. They fell, not down, but sideways, spiraling through echoes of time. Cities flashed by, some burning, some rising from oceans. They passed a mirror world where the beacon stood upside down, flickering in reverse. Then silence. When they landed, it wasn't on ground, but on memory. The ground beneath them was made of old songs, notes etched into stone, glowing faintly. They stood in a ruined chamber. At its center hovered a child, or what remained of one, shimmering, flickering, caged in amber light. "The Ash Prophet," whispered Ballerino Cappuccino, eyes wide with tears. "They kept her here." But shadows moved again. The cloaked beings stepped forward, no longer distant, no longer silent. "You do not belong," one of them rasped. "You are the flame that must be smothered." Tung Tung drew his blade. It crackled with frozen time. "No," he said. "We are the fire that remembers." And so it began. The battle in the place between worlds. For the voice of a child and the soul of a forgotten future. The chamber trembled as the clash began. Echoes of the past rang in every strike, each movement stirring fragments of forgotten histories. Tung Tung Sahur danced through shadow and flame, his blade slicing not flesh, but the bindings of time. Sparks fell like rain. Lady Circitia hovered, arms open, weaving matrices of light, each thread a shield, each shield a hymn of resistance. Spyaniro Golubiro activated the Aria lens, flooding the room with harmonic disruption. "No silence today," he whispered. "Only song." Sir Snorkelton's tank roared as he charged, laughter and cannon fire thundering in tandem. "To memory!" he cried. "To madness!" But it was Ballerino Cappuccino who reached the child first. Her shoes brushed notes in the stone, waking ancient lullabies. The girl opened her eyes, silver, endless, and whispered, "I remember." Light burst from her, not blinding, but warm. The cloaked being staggered, hissing in agony as the chamber bent under the weight of her return. Images flashed, children running, oceans rising, hands held across divides. A forgotten future, remembered. The shadows fought harder, their forms twisting. One struck Tung Tung, drawing blood, not red, but shimmering blue. He faltered, knees buckling. "Stand," the girl said, placing her palm against his wound. "You gave me fire. I gave you time." He rose, eyes burning like stars, collapsing. And then came the final note. From deep within the child, a song that cracked the stone and rewrote the silence. A song older than language. The fire that sings. When the song ended, The chamber stood still, silent, not with absence, but with awe. The ashes that clung to every wall now glowed faintly, as if remembering warmth they had long forgotten. Tung Tung Sahur stepped forward, scarred but steady. His voice was quiet. "It's over." But the girl shook her head. "Number, it's just begun." Behind her, a doorway shimmered into being, arched in silver flame, etched with symbols from 1,000 lost tongues. Beyond it, a landscape of possibility. Cities reborn, skies unbroken, hands reaching. Spyaniro Golubiro adjusted his monocle, blinking through tears. That is what we gave everything for. Lady Circitia's circuits flickered, a future grown from fire. Ballerino Cappuccino smiled through soot, from rhythm, from love. One by one, they passed through the flame gate, each leaving behind what they had carried: armor, grief, guilt, silence. Only the girl and Tung Tung remained. "You were the key," she whispered. Tung Tung looked at her, his hand over his heart. "We were all keys. You were the door." Together, they stepped into light. And behind them, the chamber fell gently to ruin. Not in defeat, but in peace. Not ashes now, soil.